Hi, Ask an RTC here, and in this video, we're going to be going over the uniforms that you'll be receiving in boot camp and that you'll be utilizing through your Navy career, and this is going to be covering from E1 to E6. This won't cover chiefs or officers. This is going to go over what you receive at boot camp and just the uniforms that you'll wear. Everything you receive in boot camp is everything you're going to need. So, starting off with the basic, we have the PT gear. That's obviously the first thing you get in P days, actually at the night of arrival, as you change out your civilian clothes and go into PT gear. Now, PT gear has changed a couple of times. It's for the longest time, it's been the yellow shirt and blue shorts with a silver navy on the shorts and the shirt. But it recently has changed to the blue T-shirt with the blue shorts, but it has a gold navy on it. They might start putting that out at boot camp. They may have already started putting it at boot camp, but in short, the ones you receive is the official Navy PT gear. Now, those are the ones whenever you do official Navy events. So if you like your command gets together and does divisional PT or command PT, you have to wear it. Whenever you do a PRT, most commands require you to wear it as well. It doesn't mean that every time you just go hit the gym, you have to wear it. But it is good to keep on hand and good to keep like a nice pair with you for whenever you are doing like weigh-ins or the PRT. You're going to be required to wear it. And some commands have their own PT shirts that they wear. So the command PT shirt where I have like that command's name on it, or if you join the First Class Petty Officer Association or the Junior Enlisted Association, they'll have one. Chiefs Mess have one. The Officers Mess have one. As an RDC, I had a special one as well. That was for the Petty Officer Association. So yeah, but the shirt and shorts you're given are the ones that you need to wear for official Navy PT events. Moving up to get a little more fancy is your dress whites and your dress blues. Now, the dress whites and the dress blues are very similar, except for the whites are a little more elastic and they're more breathable, hence because you wear them during like summer. There's a time of the year in which everyone switches over. And some places you just only wear one pair throughout the entire year. For example, I believe Hawaii was like that, where year round they only wore whites. They didn't wear dress blues unless it was for a certain event. But that was the dress uniform. Just the dress blues that are very black, but they're called dress blues, are thicker. They're much thicker. They don't breathe as much. They're not elastic. So definitely try to stay in shape because they're the more expensive one as well. So just try to stay in shape so you don't get new ones with that. But yeah, they've changed a little bit. So for males, the blues and whites, the difference is the whites now look more like the blues. The whites used to have the way the pants are bell bottom. They used to have that same feeling around the wrists, and there was no piping. The black stripes you can see, there's no piping on the flap. But now they look pretty much one for one for the blues. But they're still the breathable elastic. And they also have a zipper on the side, so that makes it easier to take off and put on. And for the blues, for the males, not much has changed. However, for the females, they used to have their own set of dress blue uniforms. Now, I liked them. I'm not a female, but I thought they looked sharp and looked professional. However, they were very expensive. They were much more expensive than the males' blues. So the fairness in that is that now they just wear the top is the whites and blues are unisex now. So it makes it fair. They don't have to spend so much money. They used to have to wear a combination cap as well on top. So now they're all the same across the board, which is nice. Maybe not as flattering, but still professional, and now they don't have to spend more money. Moving on, you have the NSUs, or some people call them the peanut butters, and this is what you see your RDCs wear almost every single day. So it's the khaki top and the black pants, and the whites, blues, and the NSUs are all worn with dress shoes. There are certain occasions where you can wear them with boots or you're required to wear them with boots, but the natural wear of these are with dress shoes, which are also going to be issued to you. They're leather shoes, the same way as the boots are, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, they're called khakis. Now, for the male, they have to have the shirt tucked in and have a belt, and they're pretty much just like business dress slacks and then a button-up shirt on top that you tuck in. And if you ever see like RDCs, like they never have to fix themselves, like it's always really tight, the shirt doesn't really comes untucked. It's because we usually wear shirt stays. For the males, that is. It's these little things, elastics that you clip onto the bottom of the shirt, and you can either clip it onto your sock or you get the one that clips on your shirt and then has a loop at the bottom, and you just put your foot through it, and it just keeps it pulled down, and then you put your pants on over that. That just makes it easier. And you'll see the difference between this and the other hat that we would wear with the dress uniform. The dress uniform, you wear what's called a Dixie cup, and for the NSUs, you wear what's called the garrison cap. both are also unisex, but the difference between NSUs for males and females is females, they wear the slacks that don't have a belt on them, and then the top is more like a blouse where it doesn't get tucked in. However, there is a version that females can wear when it comes to chiefs and officers, but that's neither here or there. We're talking about E6 and junior. Moving on to the NWUs. So now we have the NWUs, or they're the green ones, and these are the just Navy working uniform is what it stands for. This is what you're going to wear day in and day out for most part. And we'll get to the coveralls in a second. We'll go to the ship. But these are the ones you're normally going to wear. They used to be they're called Type 3s now. And then the ones we had before that, we used to call them the blueberries because they kind of make you look like a blueberry. They were a little more expensive, a little thicker, and you had to have your rank tab sewn on. With these ones, you don't. You have this little center flap on the chest, and you just slide on a rank tab that goes with the parka liner you can put on there or the parka itself. And before that, we had utilities, the one that looked like, I don't know, prison jumpsuits, if you would. But yeah, NW Type 3s, we wear these now. These are the standard uniform we wear, the working uniform. This is what you'll see majority of the Navy out and about wear. But not always will you be wearing these when you're on a ship. So moving on to the coverall. So the coveralls that you're issued in boot camp are not the coveralls that you'll be wearing on a ship. And some ships are not even wearing coveralls anymore. So specifically, the ones you're getting now used to be the ones we would wear on the ship. I don't think I've worn these ones on a ship. Unless I'm doing dirty work, then yeah, I'll put these on because they're given to you and they're pretty cheap. So it's nice to wear them whenever you're painting or anything that's going to get your uniform dirty. I don't think I've worn them on a ship since like 2015, 2014. But yeah, unless I'm doing dirty work, then I'm sure I'll put them on. But I don't wear them otherwise than that. And the reason is because now we have coveralls that are issued to you on a ship. They're called FRVs, fire retardant variables. And they're actually more fire retardant. So whatever you're putting on a firefighting uniform, it's easier you just keep those on, and then you put the firefighting uniform on top of that. So, and I like them. They're a lot looser. They breathe more. You'll see engineers will sometimes get what's called bulwarks. Sometimes they order through the ship or sometimes they get on their own. But those aren't the ones that issue. You get FRVs. Those are the ones that issue up to the ship. But with that being said, we are now also getting the part that's called TUPOCs, or two-piece organizational clothing, or TUPOCs for short. And that is like coveralls. It's coverall material, but it's built in the design of the NWU, the camis. So it's kind of much nicer in the sense that they actually fit just like the NWUs. You wear blue ones if you're E6 or junior, and then chiefs and officers wear khakis. But they have the rank tab in the center. They have patches on the side, the name tape. And the nice thing is females specifically, males in general, if you just needed to go number one, you could just unzip real quick and you're good to go. Obviously, if anyone needs to go number two, you have to take off the coveralls completely. For females, though, if they had to go number one or two, they had to take them off completely. This is nice because it's pants and a shirt, so you don't have to take off your entire coveralls in order to use the bathroom. So there's a huge benefit to that. And you can wear this uniform out in town in a sense of like you can go home in the uniform. Coveralls you could not wear off the ship. If you go off the ship to the pier to grab parts or supplies or anything, that's fine. But you couldn't like run to McDonald's or something real quick during your lunch break, or drive home or drive into work wearing your coveralls. That was a no. That was a uniform that you could not wear outside like that. But with TUPOCs, the coveralls replacements, you can come into work with it or go home and work with it, so you can just change at home or your barracks, whatever the situation is. So that makes that a lot nicer as well. They haven't rolled it out completely into the fleet, but that's still in progress. And with the NWUs, the TUPOCs, and the coveralls, you'll be wearing your boots, and these boots are steel-toe boots. They're leather boots, so it hurts at first if you haven't gone to boot camp yet and you've never worn boots before, especially leather boots. You're going to feel this. You might get some blisters. Feet might be a little raw, sore, just because you're breaking in the leather. It'll start shaping up to like your foot, and it gets a whole lot more comfortable later on. But at first, it's a little difficult. I would sometimes tell my recruits to double sock it just for a little bit, wear a white sock and a black sock. Some people, you get moleskin, which is this little tape that's it looks like a Band-Aid that you put on the parts that are rubbing up against your foot and causing blisters, but it's like an extra layer of skin to protect you. Not so much so with the dress shoes, although my feet did hurt whenever I was breaking in new dress shoes. But I wouldn't have to worry about blisters or anything crazy like that. But yeah, both leathers, they'll break in and they form to your foot, and it's a whole lot nicer after that. But you got to polish them, and you'll get shoe polish as well. Now, the instruction states that they need to be blackened. However, it's highly recommended that you put it over all the boot or the shoe, and that one protects the boot and the shoe from salt or abrasions that happen with scuffs and stuff like that. Makes the boot and the shoe last longer. But polishing it to a shine is highly recommended just because it looks more professional and clean. And that covers overall the uniforms you receive in boot camp and the uniforms that you might receive while you're out at sea or at your next command when it comes to E6 and junior. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Hooyah, Navy!